Just pull this Titan Z Toro 0 turn 52 inch into the shop. Got it from my neighbor, he gave it to me. Engine's, I don't know, something wrong with it, find out. It's got some hours on it. It's got some cracks in the deck. Just pressure washed it, pushed it in here. Fixing to tear it down. These are already loose. Got bolts for those there. So I'm gonna take this back cover off and we'll go from there. All right, update. Got the all the guards off of the back of the engine. Two of the mounts go through into the engine, so actually this big mount that sits underneath here, these two bolts go up into the engine. So like if you're going to jack that thing up, that would be a good place to jack it up at. All right, we'll go further. See you in a bit. All right, update on this Toro. So take the plugs out, and of course we have two different kind of plugs, but they look pretty decent. So on this left side from the rear, had compression. This side, no compression. So I took the valve covers off, checked the valves, turns the engine over. This one's doing good, but no compression. This side, where I had compression, had a push rod off, and it's bent, and it's on the exhaust. So exhaust rock arms just flopping, but I got compression. This one, it's where it's supposed to be, no compression. Something kind of clunking too when I turn it around, so might have a busted piston on that side. Gonna be some internal something. So we'll go further. All right, we're back with the Toro. Got it all tore down and got a broke rod, which in turn knocked a big notch in the cam lobe, which is what took out the push rod for the exhaust valve. Got some cracks right there in the housing, the lower housing where the cam sits in. That's also the top of the oil pump assembly. Pieces of rod laying down in there. So the crank's scored up really bad, it's junk. Piece of the cylinder broke out right there. So, but in the cylinder, that's acts below where the piston rides, so that part of the block would still be usable. So to rebuild this, it would be crank. Obviously, just go ahead and redo both rods and pistons, and you'd have to redo that, replace that lower case, which started pricing that stuff, and it's cheaper to buy a motor. So got on the interwebs to see what I could find today. Found a used one for $600 and something. So put the order in on that, and got it coming. Be a week and a half before it gets here. So probably we'll just try to clean some of this mess up and maybe put some of it on the shelf. I mean, all these heads and stuff are good, and the starter's good. Might even save that case, I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep what's good, chunk what's bad, and use it for parts later, possibly. So we'll be back when we get something more to see. All right, so we're back with the Toro 0 turn. Little update on parts. Bought a new engine, well, a used engine. So there's the old one. Turns out both of those cranks, or both of those cases, are junk. They're cracked, crank scored up, so all that's going in the garbage. or scrap pile, scrap metal. So we got this used 24 horse. Came in, I mean, it was looking fine on the exterior. Little oil spilt inside the box from where they shipped it. Drained oil out of the case, but they didn't drain it out of the oil filter, and I guess it got turned on the side of UPS. Had oil all over everything. But the cylinders were pretty nasty down in all these grooves. So cleaned all that up yesterday. Carburetor was really gunked up, and the air filter looked like it had never been changed. So ordered a new air filter today, plugs and fuel filter, so it won't be in until tomorrow. So gonna try to get this bad boy set on the mower and start hooking everything back up. Probably gonna have to switch fuel pump over to this side and add a oil pressure sensor in here where this plug is. Got a few things to change, but mostly looks like it's just going to be a bolt of straight on. Also got a bunch more parts over here. We'll go over what all we got over here for the deck and blades and all that kind of stuff. So we got a boatload of parts to throw at this thing, and so maybe we'll get her going. See you in a bit. All right, we're back. We got the engine all cleaned up, all connected, and actually done fired it up once. Don't seem to want to start without the choke, but that's pretty good. Good deal. All right, let's put all this guard and stuff back together. I did go ahead and replace the pulleys right here for the drive pumps right there. Put the new belt on there. Old belt was pretty rough, and one of those pulleys was locked up solid. That one. That center won't turn at all. You can see where the belt been spinning on it. It's supposed to be on the back side of it. Anyway. Alright, good deal. Put a little more together and then we'll come back. Alright, update on the Toro. Back with some more parts. So I've got a new deck belt, new blades, and all the idler pulleys for the deck. Also got 2 bearings for each of the blade towers. So I'm going to attempt to pull this deck off of here. Looks like probably just going to be able to take out this bolt, and this bolt, and drop that deck down. Well, same bolts on the other side, so there'll be 6 of them. Drop the deck down, pull it out where I can get to it. We'll check all these. I mean, this one don't sound really bad, but I think I'm just gonna swap all of the stuff out new, put the old stuff back on the shelf. And speaking of putting stuff back on the shelf, the 2 idler pulleys that were placed there on the drive belt, I cleaned those up, put some WD-40 on them, got them rolling again. That one, the belt had been sliding a little bit on, but I got it rolling too. So throw it on the shelf. Can't never tell. You might be in the middle of mowing one day and one of them lock up. If you got one on the shelf, you can get through the mowing at least. So that's kind of the plan. Also drug out my old Lincoln arc welder here, and I actually don't have a plug for it in the shop yet, so I ran my cord outside. I'll run it off the generator for temporary. Get this thing out where we can check it out better. I think probably the end of these cracks, we'll just drill a hole to keep the crack from spreading any farther. Probably have to take this whole assembly off here because it's going to need to be welded all the way around through here. And anyway, going to try to weld all that up. A little crack right here, and we'll smoke over the rest of it, see if there's anything else. So I'm going to try to set this phone up on a time lapse and get to it and see what we can get done. All right, stop the time lapse to explain a little bit. Or of course got the deck out, you saw that. And taking these bearings out, and the new ones that they sent me are the wrong size. They're too little. This fall in the hole. So gonna have to reorder some bearings, and don't have the right washer on this bolt for this blade here, so need to get the correct one for that as well. And I might go ahead and finish taking that apart and weld up the cracks on that. But that's where we're at. We're back with the Toro. A little bit of an update. It's been a few days or a week. We'll go over what we got going here in a second. Already pulled that deck out, put them new anti-scap wheels on the front there. These are just hanging on there, ain't got them tightened down yet. Still got to put these spindles on there. So the deal with those, and I got all that welded up, it's a little bubblegum farmer welding with my old welder that don't work too good anymore. So when we took these things apart, I had said that they sent me the wrong bearings, but actually what was going on was these two had been replaced, and that was the original. And so the bearings that I'd ordered for the Toro, that's the right size, and this one's in pretty bad shape. As you can see, it's kind of rusted or corroded through on that aluminum. But what I did do is went ahead and ordered three. I got three brand new blade towers, assemblies, whatever, spindles. And so I went ahead and rebuilt this one. I did order some more bearings the right size for this, and I've already rebuilt this one. And I can't hold the camera and twist the thing, but anyway, we'll take this pulley off, put it back on the new one, put this one on the shelf for a spare. This one has got 4 bolts that are broke off in there when I took them out. Only these 2 came out, so I got to drill those out, and I'm gonna put the bearings back in that. 4 bearings is like $13. These things are $40-something each, so I can rebuild that, throw it back on the shelf, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild this one too, because I got those little bearings that came in the first order. And if I can clean that thing up, I may spray it with a little gray paint, just so that if I do put them back in service, the grass and junk will just get on the paint will flake off, and it won't be eating into the aluminum like that has. So I'll come back here in a few minutes. We'll go ahead and put these blades and everything on that. Go ahead and mount that on the deck and slide it back under there. And we should have this thing finished today and ready to mow. Got my next project in here, got it up on jack stands. Fixing to drop transmission out of that. So we'll be back. foot back together. Got my bag on it. Let's go give it a shot. All right, there we go. She's ready to mow. It's too wet to mow, but let you know what I think about it when I really get to mow. I may have to adjust the deck a little bit. I don't know, that looked pretty good. We don't really need mowing out here, but all right, good deal. Okay, just want to do a closeout on this Toro Titan Z 0-turn. It's 52 inch. I've spent about $1,088 on it, which the biggest expense was the motor. It was really just $499. They had it on sale on used engine on eBay. But time you paid shipping and taxes, it was like $650. And then most of the rest of the parts just got from Amazon. But I do have some extra parts, like the heads that come off that old motor, and we'll keep them. They're good. Starter's good. A bunch of good parts still off that other engine that I put in buckets and put over there. And when I was ordering parts for this, instead of getting just a oil filter, I got 4 oil filters. And because my other mowers have used the same filter as this, and got an extra air filter. So anyway, with all the extra parts, other than the deck belt that I took off had a nick almost all the way through it. So I mean, it might get you through mowing if you broke one, put it on there, but it might not. Anyway, the deck belt, the drive belt was still in pretty decent shape, so I put it back on the shelf. So all the parts are new, $1,088. Pretty good deal, I think. I went, looked at Lowe's site in Dalton down here, and they had a 52 inch that was $4,000. And so I just kind of searched around to see what kind of prices they were on 52 inch lawnmowers. And there was one at a mower place that deals in Toros that probably was more of a commercial mower, but to look at it looked just like this one and had pretty much the same features, and it was like $8,999. So even at the $4,000 mark, I've only got a quarter of the price in this 0-turn. Of course, it's used, but all the stuff's pretty new. I think probably get a couple summers out of it without doing anything to it, just change oil and mow. And it's Still got Mo Dixon as a backup. I'll got a little bit of work I need to do to it, but probably just use it for bush hogging the nasty stuff around the side of the driveway and on the motorcycle trail and stuff up there, and just try to keep this one for doing the grass. And so I'm gonna bug some family members. This is actually my first video of a project in the shop. Done some other stuff in the shop. Put struts on Selena's car, tie rod on Violet's car. Worked on some other junk of my own in here. But I'm gonna try to start making some videos, and I'll bomb some of the family with them and see what they think about them. And might end up putting them on YouTube, I don't know. And so the old truck over there is gonna be my next project. I'm gonna try to video it. And so I'll get some comments back from you guys. Tell me what I need to do better. Shut up talking, or talk more, or put music with it, or, you know, get Shadow to dance. He is a circus dog. All right, that's good. See you later.